Welcome back to iBosch USA Certificate in Permit Work Part 4. Now let's discuss the roles and responsibilities of permit authorizer. See, permit authorizer holds a crucial position in the permit work process as they are responsible for approving or rejecting permit application based on safety consideration. Permit authorizers' roles involves ensuring that all necessary precautions are in place before authorizing hazardous work activities. Now let's understand the roles and responsibilities of permit authorizer in detail. First and foremost responsibility is authorization and approval. See, the permit authorizer is responsible for reviewing permit application submitted by permit receiver, who is also known as permit applicant. So they are responsible for reviewing permit application submitted by permit receivers and making decision regarding their approval or rejection. Permit authorizer have the authority to authorize or deny permit based on safety consideration and compliance with established procedures. The second responsibility of the permit authorizer is compliance review. See, permit authorizer conducts a thorough review of permit application to ensure that they comply with the safety protocols, regulatory requirements, and organizational policies. Permit authorizer verify that all necessary control measures and precautions have been implemented to mitigate identified risk. It is a responsibility they must verify and make sure that control measures and precautions are implemented well. Their third responsibility is to ensure risk assessment. See, permit authorizer assesses the level of risk associated with the proposed work activities outlined in the permit application. They must evaluate the hazards involved, the effectiveness of the proposed control measures, and the potential impact on personal safety and the environment. Their fourth responsibility is to ensure consultation and collaboration. In some cases, the permit authorizer may need to consult with other stakeholders such as safety officers, supervisors, or subject matter experts to gather additional information or expertise before making a decision on permit approval. They can ask subject matter experts, even they can interact with the safety officers, and they can collaborate with the relevant personnel to ensure that all safety considerations are addressed. So they are responsible for consultation and collaboration. And their fifth responsibility is to ensure conditions and restrictions. If necessary, the permit authorizer must impose specific conditions or restrictions on the permit to ensure the safety of work activities. Ensuring conditions and restrictions include ensuring the requirements for additional safety measures, time constraints, environmental considerations, or other relevant factors. They are also responsible for the communication. The permit authorizer must communicate decisions regarding permit approval or rejection to permit receiver and other relevant stakeholders in a timely manner. They must provide clear explanation for their decision and ensure that all stakeholders understand the reason for any conditions or restrictions imposed. The permit authorizer is also responsible for the documentation and record keeping. The permit authorizer must maintain accurate record of permit authorization, including details of approved permits, associated hazards, control measures, and any conditions or restrictions imposed. They must ensure that all permit related documentation is properly filed and accessible for reference and audit purposes. They are also responsible for training and ensuring competency. See, the permit authorizer should possess necessary training knowledge and competency to assess permit application effectively and make informed decision regarding permit authorization. They must stay updated on relevant safety regulations, procedures, and best practices to perform their roles effectively. At the same time, they must also ensure that people carrying out the task are also competent enough to carry out the task. Finally, permit authorizer is responsible for continuous improvement. The permit authorizer must participate in ongoing evaluation and improvement of permit work process. They must provide feedbacks on effectiveness of permit conditions and procedure. They must identify area for enhancement, and they must contribute to the development of the best practices for permit authorization and management. Altogether, if we see, the permit authorizer play a critical role in ensuring the hazardous work activities are conducted safely and in compliance with the established safety protocols. Their diligence, their expertise, and their commitment to safety are essential for protecting the well being of the workers and preventing accidents in the workplace. Now, let's see the roles and responsibilities of area supervisor. Their first responsibility is safety oversight. The area supervisor is responsible for ensuring the overall safety of the work area where permitted activities are taking place. They must oversee work activities to ensure compliance with the safety procedures, regulations, and permit conditions. Their second responsibility is worksite assessment. Before work begins, the area supervisor must assess the work area to identify potential hazards and ensure that appropriate safety measures are in place. They must collaborate with the permit authorizer and permit receiver to address any safety concerns and verify that work can be conducted safely. Their third responsibility is supervision and monitoring. During the permitted work activities, the area supervisors must monitor the progress of the work to ensure that safety protocols are followed and that work is performed in accordance with the permit conditions. They must intervene if unsafe practices are observed, and they must take corrective action as needed. Their fourth responsibility is to ensure communication. The area supervisor must communicate with the permit authorizer, permit receiver, and other stakeholders to coordinate work activities and address any safety related issues or concerns. They must ensure that all personnel involved in the work are aware of their roles and responsibilities and understand the hazards associated with the work. Their next responsibility is to ensure emergency response. The area supervisor, they are already trained to respond to the emergency situation. So, the area supervisor must implement emergency procedure. They must evacuate personnel if necessary, and they must coordinate with emergency response team, and if required, they must mitigate risk and ensure the safety of the workers at workplace. Their next responsibility is to ensure documentation and reporting. The area supervisor must maintain accurate record of work activities, work inspections, and incident occurring within the work area. They must document any deviation from permit conditions. They must document the safety violations, and they must document incidents and report them to the appropriate authority as required. Area supervisor is also responsible for the training and support. The area supervisor must ensure that workers under their supervision are adequately trained and support them to perform their tasks safely. Area supervisor must provide guidance on safety procedures. They must be provided with guidance on use of personal protective equipment and other safety related matters. Make sure that people are following the safety protocol and that they are understanding the actual need and they must adhere to safety protocol. Finally, area supervisors are responsible for continuous improvement. In order to ensure continuous improvement, the area supervisor must participate in ongoing evaluation and improvement of safety practices within the work area. They must provide feedback on the effectiveness of safety matters. They must identify area for improvement and they must implement corrective action to enhance safety performance. Overall, if you see, area supervisor play a significant role in ensuring the safety of the workers and work environment during permitted activities. Area supervisors' proactive approach to safety oversight, communication, and emergency response is essential for preventing accidents and ensuring compliance with the safety regulations and permit conditions.